Hi guys, it's Rebecca. So today I thought that I would start a vlog on me reading The Secret History by Donna Tartt for the first time. I have been wanting to read this book for ages and I thought it would be a good idea to make a whole reading vlog out of me reading this for the first time. I have actually no idea what it's about apart from it's like a dark academia book, but I've watched so many interviews of Donna Tartt and she's such like an interesting person, and I just really like watching all of her interviews, so it's made me really want to read one of her books, and I know this is like the most popular one, so I thought maybe it would be interesting to do a whole vlog just so that I can record my reaction to reading it for the first time. I'm hoping that I can read it like fairly quickly. It is like 500 pages, but I think that it's hopefully one of those books that I can get through kind of quickly. I'm also reading I'm listening to the Song of Achilles on audiobook. I've never read it before. I just thought that I would like to read that as well because it's such a popular book. I'm on like chapter 9 now. I am actually finding it quite boring so far, but I have heard that it gets better at about chapter 12. I was doing live reading sprints the other day with Emily from Emily Kathleen Reads. I'll link her channel in the description. She was like saying that she's read it and that she didn't like it as much as everybody else did, but apparently it gets better at about chapter 12. I'm gonna still give it like a go and continue with it, but I thought I might as well include that in this vlog as well. I probably won't listen to any of that today. I'll be listening to it throughout the week, and I'd probably say it's going to take me hopefully a week or less to read this. I'm going to try my best to read it within the week and read maybe hopefully both of them within the week, and just keep listening to Song of Achilles on my way back and forth from work and stuff. I'm going to read this today. Today's Sunday, so I'm hoping that I'll have this done by next Sunday, but I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start reading this, and then I'll just give updates on my reaction, and hopefully I'll love it as much as I am hoping to. It is now Monday. I just thought I would give a little update on how much I've read of The Secret History so far. So I got 60 pages in and I'm really enjoying it so far. I've already tabbed quite a lot of it, especially because I'm only 60 pages in. I feel like I've been able to tab a lot of it. It's taken me a lot longer to read. Like, I did spend quite a while reading, but I didn't actually seem to get that many pages read. I think that's like probably because I kept having to like look up the translations in here. I mean, every now and then she'll say something in like French or Latin or Greek or something, and I'll have to like Google what that means, or else I'll just be trying to like reread bits that I liked. Especially there'll be like 2 paragraphs of something that I just will love, and I'll just want to like read that a couple of times and just like think about it. I thought that maybe I will like read out the first line in this book because I was just like, oh my god, that's such a good first line. I thought I'd read it out just for anybody who hasn't read it or anybody who also just feels the same as me. So this is the first line. The snow in the mountains was melting and Bunny had been dead for several weeks before we came to understand the gravity of our situation. He'd been dead for 10 days before they found him, you know. I thought that was so good. That's like in the prologue, but then it goes into book 1. So the actual first line in chapter 1, so after the prologue, is: does such a thing as the fatal flaw, that showy dark crack running down the middle of a life, exist outside literature? I used to think it didn't. Now I think it does. And I think that mine is this: a morbid longing for the picturesque at all costs. So it's just like her writing is just amazing. Like, I did hope and expect that Donna Tartt would be a good writer, just as I said, like, I've been watching her interviews and I think she's such a cool person. And as well, in a lot of her interviews she'll talk a lot about how much she loves Charles Dickens, and her favourite Dickens book is Bleak House, and she's able to quote that and talk about that in amazing detail. I think she just rereads Dickens like all of the time. She absolutely loves Dickens. I think it's like quite obvious in in this so far, that that's who she's influenced by and inspired by, especially even just from such an impactful opening page. I think that that's a lot of what like Dickens would have done. Like he would have always had strong opening lines and strong opening pages that just made you kind of want to know what happened. And I think that she probably put a lot of effort into trying to make sure that she did the same. I mean, that's just like my observation that I've got from watching her and from reading this like so far, but I'm really enjoying it so far. So I'm going to try and do like a little bit more reading now. It is the bank holiday weekend and I don't know if I'll go out for a little picnic today with some friends. I am staying with my boyfriend right now. I'm in his house, so I'll be going along with him as well. I think that I might be going to that, but I'll definitely be doing some reading later on this evening as well. So I'm going to try and read as much as I can now of this, just see how much I get read. I'm going to keep reading anyway, and I'll let you know what I think whenever I've got a little update. Now 1:45 in the afternoon. I read a little bit more of The Secret History. I got to page 100 and I'm still really enjoying it. I think that it is so good. I mean, I don't really have much else to say than that, like I'm absolutely loving it. The only thing that is like I am nervous about is she's done so much already, and I feel like she's built the characters up really quite well already, that I'm kind of nervous that it might start to get boring. It's not boring at all right now, but I'm scared that maybe that might mean that it'll get boring kind of like later on, but I'm hoping that won't be the case. I'm hoping that it's gonna just like continue to get better somehow. I haven't listened to anything more of Song of Achilles. I'll probably do that later on. I'm going out to a picnic now in the park. The weather isn't actually that nice, but it'll be fine. It hasn't actually been like that nice weather at all so far. I live in Bristol and the weather has not been like very nice. It's like raining all of the time. So I'm going to go for a picnic and then I'll be back home in my own house later on this evening, and I'll update the vlog then whenever I've read a bit more. I haven't actually read anything more than earlier. Well, I did listen to a bit of Song of Achilles, like 15 minutes or something like that, whenever I was on the bus home, but I kept getting distracted and like turning it off and like pausing it. It was literally like 15 minutes, so not even that much happened within the book at that space of time. I think that I'm in the middle of like chapter 10 now of Song of Achilles. Still like pretty much feeling the same about it though. Like I'm still finding it like quite boring. Since I've heard that it picks up, I'm not feeling that bad about it yet, because I'm still hoping that it'll get a bit better. Today as I said, I went out for that picnic, which ended up lasting like the whole day, because I think I left at about 2 o'clock today. Haven't even actually been back that long, so it's 9:15 now. It was an hour walk to where we had like the little picnic, and then I was there until 6 or maybe just after, and then I had to do the hour walk back. We walked back to my boyfriend's house. I think I was there for about 15 minutes or so before I then went and waited and got the bus. I went and got myself some bits for dinner, and I've got my dinner on now. So I think what I might do is have my dinner. I know it's like quite a late dinner, but have my dinner, watch some booktube, and then hopefully I'll have a bit of time to read. I'm hoping as well to get up kind of early tomorrow so I can get a bit more reading in tomorrow morning and kind of like make up for today, because I did consider like not going to the picnic and just like reading my book because I'm enjoying it so much. It was like a really nice day and I thought, why not? I might as well. I'm glad that I did go. It was like a really nice day. I'm really looking forward to just relaxing this evening, because I actually feel like I've never felt so tired in my life. That walk just felt really difficult because it was like really warm as well, and it was just like I was not dressed for the weather and it's just like absolutely taking it out of me. Like I feel exhausted now, so I'm really excited just to relax and read my book for the rest of the evening. I thought that I would just just do a quick update on where I am at with the Secret History. It is now Wednesday. I didn't wake up this morning to read more. I woke up and I was literally exhausted, so I didn't get a chance to read this morning, and I only read 10 pages before getting too tired and going to sleep last night. It is 9 o'clock in the evening. I got home, just had to do everything, make dinner. I watched an episode of Love is Blind, and oh my god, like I'm literally loving that series. Like I feel like I just want to like binge it all the time. It's literally so good. It's the newest season and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm on page 110 now. I am gonna just like sit down and read for the rest of the night. I'll definitely have like more time to read tomorrow. I'm gonna try again to get up and read. I want to see how much I get done tonight. Hopefully I do get a good bit done, but I'm just like feeling really like out of it today. I'm just like really exhausted, so I don't know how much like I'm going to be able to get read, because I just feel like I'm just going to want to fall asleep. But I'm going to try my best. I'm going to read as much as I can and just see where I get to. But I've been like looking forward to reading it all day. I've got my tea and just see how many pages I get read. That I would just give a quick update. I didn't end up waking up earlier this morning to read. I don't know why. I just feel like I've been like really exhausted recently and just finding it really hard to wake up in the mornings. I'm just like, for some reason, I'm just like absolutely done out. I'm working from home today. I just finished lunch, so I read a bit on my lunch, so I'm up to page 147 now. I'm still literally loving this book. The characters feel so alive. I don't have like a specific character that I love, but it's just really interesting getting to know all of the characters. The only character that I do feel like is a bit bland is Francis. I don't know why, there's just something like White that I don't feel like I can get to know him as well as the rest of the characters. I think that my favourites, I kind of love them all, but I like Henry, I like Richard, the main character, and I also like Bunny, because I think Bunny's like quite interesting, and then Charles and Camilla are really nice, but I don't feel like there is as much to the twins as there are to maybe the other three that I just mentioned. The bit where that glass gets lodged into Camilla's food, I mean that was quite a few pages ago now, but I forgot to actually talk about that specifically. That literally made me feel like so sick, like the description of it, and as well I thought like it wasn't an exaggeration whenever he said that she had like cut like an artery or something, so I actually felt like I was like going to be sick, and like usually that kind of thing doesn't make me sick, but it really just, the description of it just really made me feel sick. I don't know why, but I thought that was like quite a good scene. Just them all looking after her, and as well like how quickly it was kind of like brushed over. That was like quite interesting, because you can just see how they were all so quick to take care of her, but then they also just drop things quite quickly and they just kind of get on with everything. I just don't feel like I'm ever bored with what's going on. I'm on literally like nearly page 150 and it still doesn't feel like anything has really happened. Donna Tartt's so good at making me feel like I actually care about the nothingness that's going on. The whole bit where Richard's in the cold, I'll just say, is like still really interesting, even though nothing's happening. It's like her descriptions, the way that I feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm actually in his head and I care about him and I care about how he feels and I care about what's happening to him, and it has such a specific feeling reading that book. It's like this kind of feeling of nostalgia and love. Like I feel like I love the characters so much already, and I just know, I feel like if it keeps going on like this, I feel like I'm just going to want to reread it, and I never feel like that. I never feel like, oh my god, I could reread this, like I could just go back and I could just reread this right now, and so far it's making me feel like that, and I hope that it stays that way. But I'm so impressed by like Donna Tartt's writing. I just think she's absolutely amazing. If you have read The Secret History or any of Donna Tartt's books and you haven't watched any of her interviews, I would recommend it because it makes her even more amazing. Like the way that you see that she becomes a recluse when she writes. She secludes herself from people. She takes like 10 years to write each book because she just wants it to be perfect. I think you can really see that, and I think whenever you see what her personality is like and then go into reading her books, it does make it more interesting, and you can definitely see where all of her inspiration's coming from. I just think it's so amazing and I'm loving every single second of it. It's my exact kind of writing, it's my exact kind of book, and I'm just loving it so far. So hopefully it continues this way. I need to work for the rest of the afternoon and then I'll be finished at 5:30, so I'm gonna need to make dinner as soon as I'm finished, and then Will, my boyfriend's, coming over tonight. We're watching Suits together right now. It is my first time re-watching, but it's Will's first time watching Suits, and we're on season 3, which in my opinion is like the peak of the good seasons. Probably going to be doing that tonight. I'm going to make like a chickpea and lentil curry. I don't want to be like ignoring him and reading. I'm not sure how much reading I'm going to get done this evening, but hopefully I'll get a bit more, like even if it's a couple of pages. I forgot to say as well, I did read a bit more of Song of Achilles. I think I read about 45 minutes more in the middle of chapter 12 now. I did enjoy this last bit that I've read more than I have been enjoying it in a while, because I did like kind of enjoy it at the start and then it was like boring me, and then it's starting to kind of pick up again. So hopefully it continues this way, but I'm still not very impressed. I feel like just because of the hype and everything, I'm not as like impressed by like her writing as I thought I would be and how everybody else reacts to it. I'm still quite bored with Song of Achilles, especially in comparison to The Secret History. I don't find myself looking forward to listening to Song of Achilles where I look forward to reading The Secret History. I'll see how it goes anyway, and hopefully I'll get some reading done later this evening, but I'll see and I'll update if I have anything more to say. So I actually forgot that I had plans to go out this evening. I'm part of like a little film group where we'll go to see films together. So me and Will were actually meant to be going to see Raging Bull. There's just like a little cinema in Bristol. It shows like normal films like as they come out, but then it also will replay older films and it will play a lot of indie films as well. But Raging Bull is on today. It just looked like I would maybe like it, so I thought that I would like to go and see that, and I just forgot that I was meant to be doing that. My camera's on like 9%, so I'm gonna try my best like really quickly charge my camera so that I can maybe bring it with me. I am gonna go out for some dinner beforehand with Will and then go to see Raging Bull. It's actually Sunday today and I haven't vlogged in a couple of days and I haven't finished The Secret History yet. Basically what happened was last week whenever I started the vlog, I got kind of like mixed up and I completely forgot that my mummy and my sister were going to be visiting me. They came on Friday. I didn't do much reading. I think I read like 20 pages the whole weekend, but it's been really good, like just a really nice time. They got a hotel and I stayed with them in the hotel and it was just like really nice. It was like a little like a mini holiday for me. Even though they were visiting me in Bristol, I didn't actually go anywhere. Just like went out for food a lot. I showed my sister around Bristol because she'd actually never come to visit me before. So that was like a really nice weekend. Now they have gone home, so I'll be getting back into reading and vlogging. It was like a more busy week than I thought it would be. Like I had more stuff on that I had forgot was actually happening. So it was probably like not the best week to try and read The Secret History all in one week, because I think I'm on like page 200 now. I think I've got about 300 pages left. I am about to get the train now. I'm going to stay with Will tonight. I think that I should hopefully get some reading done tonight. I also listened to about a half an hour more of Song of Achilles. I think I've got about 4 hours left now just on the audiobook. My thoughts are still the same. I'm still quite bored with it, unfortunately. I don't know if that's actually got to do with anything to do with Madeline Miller and just more that it's just not my taste. Not actually that there's anything necessarily wrong with it, even though maybe there's a few bits I'm kind of like, that was kind of cringe, but it's nothing that I'm like, oh my god, this is like terrible or anything. I'm just kind of like, whatever, it's like kind of forgettable for me. But I do have 4 hours left, so I'm not sure if anything will change in that amount of time, but I'm not sure because I just don't know if I'm interested in the whole Greek mythology thing. I tried and I don't think that it's my thing. With The Secret History, I am still really enjoying it. However, in the last couple of pages, without saying any spoilers, the main character, Richard's bunny's friend, is murdered. I think I even read out the first line, and it's basically learning how that actually came to be. But there's a lot of mystery throughout it, and we start to kind of see how the characters are starting to act strangely and stuff. I'm not sure if it's slightly just got a bit ridiculous, like it's just got to be on like the ridiculous side, which I really don't enjoy. I don't like it. I like it things whenever they're in their own context. So if something is like meant to be ridiculous and it's being ridiculous the whole time, that's completely different to me. Or like, I don't know, if for example magical realism and we know it is what it is, but I feel like with this, it's got to the point where it's kind of ridiculous and it doesn't really, to me, it doesn't suit the story, and I'm like quite disappointed with it. I like just kind of learning more about the characters, and I was hoping that it would all stay quite normal, but it hasn't. And it's not even like it's got ridiculous in a good way, it does feel like ridiculous in a bad way. So I'm hoping that it is only just in this small section that I'm in, but I have really got to that point. And I think people who have read it probably will know what I'm talking about. I'm just not really liking this little small section, but I'll see where she goes with it, and I'll hope that she does it well. I'll read it on the train now, so I'll see where I get to, and I'll give an update whenever I have more to say. So it is now Thursday and I haven't vlogged in a couple of days now. I don't even know when the last time I did a clip was. I think it was like Sunday. It's just been like another quite busy week, but I don't really know what I've done. I mean, last night I did sprints with Emily. I did some reading sprints on her channel. I'll link her channel in the description. We're thinking of doing some reading sprints like every other week and then alternate between our channels. Nothing like that official, but it's just kind of like doing it for fun. So I'm not sure how like rigid it'll be in like a schedule or anything. We'll just organise it as and when, and then announce it on both of our channels and Twitter and Instagram and everything. I always have all my social medias in the description, so if you did want to follow my Bookstagram or my TikTok or anything like that, then you can find that down there. And I announce live sprints and when I have new videos up and stuff like that on Twitter and Instagram. I have now got about 2.5 hours left of the Song of Achilles audiobook. I'm still feeling the same as how I did. I'm still disappointed and bored with it, and I don't really have anything else to say apart from that. That's just like kind of how I felt, but I'll definitely maybe try to say more in depth whenever I actually finish the book. But I have read a bit more of The Secret History. I'm not sure what page I was on when I last updated the vlog, but I'm now on page 348. I'm not sure if you know, but I do work full time. I work 9 to half 5 every day. I feel like on weekdays there's not really a lot of reading that gets done sometimes. So tonight Will is coming over, my boyfriend, and I'll just be making him some dinner and we'll probably just be watching TV and stuff because I don't want to just be like reading and ignoring him. But I might get like a couple of pages read before bed. I think that I'm gonna have to start getting up earlier or something like that so I can actually get more reading done. I don't know like how I can get as much reading as I'd like done. I feel like I've made like good enough progress with this. Yeah, so page 348, that's pretty much like halfway through now, if not more than halfway through. I've also started a book talk, so I've been putting up some videos doing that. So I spent all of my lunch break today making a video because I hadn't put my actual face in a book talk video before. I don't know, I just like kind of felt like a bit nervous about it, but I just kind of went for it and just did it. But I kept like refilming it and refilming it. Anyway, I did that and I'm going to be putting that up this evening, but I spent like my whole lunch break doing that, so I didn't really get that much reading done. I haven't listened to any of Song of Achilles. I did some of that yesterday and just like throughout the week. I have more time tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be going to the gym. I've got spin booked for 6:30 in the evening, so after work that's what I'll be doing. I have been really enjoying going to spin classes. I've been doing that like every Friday for the last couple of weeks, so I'm just trying to keep that up because I do really enjoy it. I'll update again tomorrow whenever I've got more to say. It is now Friday evening and I didn't go to the gym this evening because I just felt disheartened. On my way out of work I was like kind of in a rush because I was like trying to get the next train, and like as soon as I like walked out, a bird just pooped all over my head. Like it was like one of those, and all over my hands and everything, like, and on my phone. So I was like just like so shocked because like you never like you kind of hear it, like you kind of hear it before it happens. I am like so scared of birds pooping on my head. Like I'll always like run away if there's like birds and stuff like flying up, like I'll always run away. I literally stepped out the door and like I walked like one step and it was just like a splattered poop just like went all over my head and like all over my hands. So like that was like disheartened me for one. And then so I like ran back in. I like said to like everybody in work, I was like, a bird just pooped on my head, like I'm back. Somebody I work with had to get like the poop out of my hair, and I had like washed my hands and washed my phone. And I was like, you know what, like I'm not going to the gym. Didn't feel like one bit of poop just like landed on my head. It felt like bits of poop went everywhere. So I was just kind of like, no, like I'm not going to be going to like a spin class with like poop all over in my hair, because then like people are just going to think like I'm a weirdo. I was like, you know, like I need a shower right now, like my life needs cleansed, because it was like really disgusting. So I like just came home and like had a shower and changed my bed sheets, had dinner and watched Love is Blind. That's why we didn't go to the gym, because I know I said about that in my last clip, but that's why I didn't go to the gym, if you wanted to know. Anyway, I did read a bit more of the Secret History whenever I was on lunch, so I'm on page 374 now. Again, I didn't read any more of Song of Achilles because I forgot my AirPods today. I'm not going to be like blasting like Song of Achilles out onto the streets. It is like 9:45 right now. I feel like the evening's just gone really quick. Anyway, it's 9:45. I'm going to read this until I go to sleep. So it is now Saturday afternoon. I am just going to film a quick clip because I'm about to go out so that I can meet Will, and we're going to both go and read in the sun. I didn't read that much last night. I read like 20 pages, I think. I got up to page like 390. As I said, I'm going to go out and read in the sun, so I'll hopefully vlog a bit of that and get a bit further in the Secret History. I also filmed a couple of TikToks and filmed a recent reads video today for YouTube, so I'll probably be editing that tomorrow. Hopefully I'm going to bring all my editing stuff to Will's house. Nothing more of Song of Achilles yet, but I'm about to get the bus down to where he lives. That will hopefully give me a couple more minutes of Song of Achilles, and I'll probably be finished that really quite soon now. Anyway, I just thought I would do a quick update, so on about page 390, and I'll see where I get to later on, and yeah, I'll update the vlog later whenever I've read a bit more. On a scale of 1 to Scotch, what was what, how good was it?
Newcastle.
It is now Monday evening. I didn't actually read that much in the park as well. I had like a little bit of a picnic with Will, and I just spent like the time just kind of talking to him, and it was just really nice. But I did read a bit, but I did the majority of my reading this weekend yesterday. Actually, I read like a tiny bit today on my lunch, but I'm now on page 514, so I've now only got about 110 pages left of this, but I'm just going to read tonight until I'm tired enough to go to sleep. I'm really enjoying this. I'm not as like in love with it as much as I thought I would be. It's so far as like a 4.5 I'd say. For me, it's like not giving me that 5-star feeling as of yet, even though I do really like it and I think it's really well written, and I think the characters are really well written. There are some bits that just don't do it for me, like some bits that I just find will be like a bit stupid. Like sometimes I think that like Henry's character is like overdone. The characters are sometimes a bit unrealistic in my opinion, and I know that that's probably like the point. I know that Henry is an over the top character, but it just all seems like a bit much sometimes. A lot of the characters aren't actually that likable. Like Henry, for example, I don't think that he's a likable character at all. But overall, I would say so far it's like a 4.5, but we'll see if the end kind of bumps it up to a 5, because that's usually what happens for me. Like I'll kind of sit on a 4, and then if the ending blows me away, then that's whenever I'll put it up to a 5. I'll see anyway what I think of this. I'll see how much I can get read. I also have read a bit more of Song of Achilles, and I think I've got an hour and a half left now, so I haven't read that much more of that or listened to that much more of that. But oh my god, I've never been so bored by something in my life. I genuinely think that that's the most boring book I've ever read in my whole entire life. People always say Charles Dickens is boring, but she is even more boring. Her writing is so boring. I don't know how that's managed to get that hyped. I feel like it's such a particular style. I don't understand how it's like so hyped and so loved. The writing style to me is like feels like quite niche. I don't know, it's just like not for me. I feel like she's very repetitive. She describes Achilles about 6,000 times. You know, the whole thing like show don't tell. I feel like she does an awful lot of telling. There isn't a lot of room for us to get to know their characters. I think it's like a lot of like personal taste, because like I don't know how much I actually like Greek mythology. I am very tired, so that's probably why I'm like rambling on. I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm probably just being like really boring. I'm gonna like get on with this and see how I feel about the last 100 pages. is now Thursday night. It is exactly 11:30 at night. I'm hardly ever actually up this late, even though it's not even actually that late, but I'm hardly ever up this late. But I just finished The Secret History. I read most of this yesterday or the day before, I think, but I just finished this tonight. The whole end section just made me feel like I had to give it 5 stars. I kind of wish I had filmed my reaction. I was like shaking, I was crying. I physically felt like I couldn't read the pages, so that like my heart was beating so fast. I was sweating, I was shaking. Like, it was one of the best things I have ever read in my life. It's like insane how everything just like comes together. It was so good. If I actually think about it too much, I'll actually start crying again. All of the characters' motivations come to life. I saw how it's set up as a tragedy. It's written like a tragedy. It feels like a tragedy whenever it actually comes to a close. All of Donna Tartt's referencing, all of those small like strange uncanny moments, like it just made it so good. So I'm so happy to have like finished it, but I also feel like so sad that it's over. I haven't finished Song of Achilles yet. I've still got like an hour and something to go, but I haven't really gone anywhere, haven't really walked anywhere that I actually like listen to it for a substantial amount of time. I'm literally dreading it, so I'm not gonna like finish it off in this vlog. I'll probably talk about it in a wrap up soon, but I doubt that my opinion's gonna change with like an hour left of the audiobook. It's been like, not gonna lie, like one of the worst things I've ever read so far, just because of like the boring factor. As I said, I'll probably be doing like a wrap up, and I'll try to like put more normal thoughts together. I just feel like my chest is hollow and depressed from like finishing that, like just because like I did not want to be over, and I just like, felt like I could just like close it and start again. But it's just like one of the most amazing things that like I've ever read. I literally loved it so much, and I just can't wait to read The Goldfinch now. That's the end of this vlog. I realized it did take me kind of a while to read all of this. I don't know if any of my thoughts were even like made any sense or like were even coherent. This is just like an amazing book, and like I couldn't recommend it more, especially if you kind of like mystery, even like thrillers. If you like literary fiction, if you like are a classics fan, anything like that, then I would recommend this book. So I feel like this book is something that could be read by like a lot of people. Doesn't really matter what like kind of your like taste in books is. Like I feel like a lot of people would enjoy this. There are parts that you definitely have to push yourself through, because it does get kind of boring in parts. Whenever you get to the end, it's just like, oh my god, like all of this makes sense. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, then please subscribe and hit the like button. I always leave all of my social media links as well down below, so that you can click on that and follow me on Instagram and TikTok and everything like that. And I will see you in the next one.